Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're going to be going over how to cut. I'm going to give you my top tips on cutting, as well as show you a few of my meals that I eat throughout the day that really helps me stay in a caloric deficit or a cut. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. Alright guys, so starting out with tip number one, and that is going to be, I want you to simply track your calories. So if you're not tracking your calories, you're really shooting yourself in the foot. So a big mistake that I see people make all the time is obviously they're eating too much and they really don't know how much they're putting into their body, or they're eating too little. Now these are two very big mistakes that people make all the time when performing a cut. So if it cannot be measured, it cannot be managed. So if you don't have a clue of how much you're putting in your body and you're wondering why you can't lose weight, that's probably the reason. So what I want you to do right now is get out your phone and go to the App Store. So whether you have an iPhone or Android, go to the App Store and download MyFitnessPal. Now MyFitnessPal is a calorie tracker app, and it is an amazing app at doing that. So it makes it really easy. It has a library, so you can literally look up the foods that you're eating, or you can just scan the barcode. So you can just scan the back of the box or the bag, whatever it is. Makes it super easy and super effective. So tip number one is track your macros, or track your calories. And speaking of macros, in my previous video I went over how to set up your maintenance calories as well as your macros. Okay guys, so for tip number two that I have for you, that is going to be bump up your protein intake. So in my last video I covered how to set up your maintenance calories, as well as I gave you recommendations on how many grams of protein you should be eating daily. And one thing that I recommended in that video was to get at least 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Now when you're on a cut, that's a very good starting point, but also what you could do is bump that up. So I'm currently eating about 1.5 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Now this is good for a couple of reasons. So one reason is to increase your protein is it's going to help preserve your muscle mass while you're on a cut. So what typically tends to happen is when you're trying to shred off body fat, sometimes that'll tap into some of your muscle mass. So by increasing your protein, this is really going to help preserve your muscle and primarily focus on burning off that fat rather than that muscle that you worked so hard to build. And also by eating more protein, this is going to really get your digestive system fired up, and it's really going to help you burn more calories trying to process and digest that protein. And also by eating more protein, this is going to keep you more satiated and full throughout the day. Now the types of protein sources that I recommend is going to be your lean cuts of meat, as well as some healthy nuts, and that'll help you get in some healthy fats as well. Or if you're vegan, make sure you're getting in your protein sources from good reliable sources. But what tends to happen is people drink a lot of protein shakes and eat a lot of protein bars. And don't get me wrong, drinking protein shakes and protein bars are very helpful to hit your protein intake goal for the day. But if that's all you're getting your protein from, you're not really going to be as full and as satiated as if you was to eat a lean piece of ground turkey or ground beef, or even a piece of chicken or fish. So those types of protein sources are going to keep you more full, as well as you're going to feel a lot more satiated rather than drinking protein shakes all the time. So I just tend to drink maybe 1 or 2 protein shakes throughout the day to help me get my protein in, but majority of the time I'm trying to get my protein sources, or my protein intake, from good sources of meats such as that. So yeah. Alright guys, so for tip number 3, this is going to simply be move more, increase your activity level. So if you're not on a structured program already, I highly recommend you get on a structured exercise program. Now you can check out one of my previous videos, and that is how to start calisthenics for beginners. So if you don't have access to a gym, you can work out at the comfort of your own home, or really anywhere. You just use your own body weight as your source of resistance. So be sure to check that out. But yeah, just get on a structured program. And another thing that you can do if you're already on a structured program is to just walk more. So what I recommend is you try to get at least 8,000 to 10,000 steps per day. So you can get on your phone, and on my phone I have a Samsung app, and it just tells me how many steps I walk every single day. And I really try to get, like I said, 8,000 to 10,000 steps at least. So I know this may be hard for some people, especially if you work a sedentary job, but you can take an extra 30 minutes out your day to, you know, walk on the treadmill, or maybe go to the track, do some walking, or do some type of cardiovascular exercise, whether that's jogging or doing some type of high intensity interval training or things like that. So just increase the activity level, and this is going to help you burn more calories, and this is going to help you get into a caloric deficit, which is going to allow you to burn that fat. So for the next tip, so tip number 4 that I have for you, this is going to be increase the amount of greens or veggies you're eating throughout the day. So by doing this, this is really going to help out with staying full and keeping you satiated. So you can eat a ton of greens. So you can eat a really big salad, or even eat some broccoli and cauliflower, and you can eat a lot of it, and it's really going to be low in calories. So you're really going to stay full, and it's going to help you stay on the diet. So if you're feeling hungry all the time, you're not going to, you know, stay or stick with the diet. So by increasing your greens, this is going to help you out by staying full. And also this is going to increase the amount of vitamins and minerals you're getting throughout the day, and this is going to help you feel better throughout your cut. So for tip number 4, that is to increase the amount of greens that you have. So I like to kind of take away from my carb sources such as breads and my starches and stuff like that, and add more greens. So I slowly cut those out while adding in the greens, and that's really been helpful for me. That is my top tips for cutting. So I hope these tips were helpful, and I hope you guys really learned something from today's video. If you have, make sure to go ahead and give the video a thumbs up, and make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. But I didn't quite show you all of my meals that I ate today. However, I do plan on filming a full day of eating video here soon, so if you're interested in that, comment down below and let me know. Also, if you have any more video ideas or topics you want me to cover, be sure to comment that down below as well. But yeah, that's the end of the video, so I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will catch you on the next one.